It's Labor Day. Many of you are taking a day off from work, but if you're looking for a job, maybe it is time, perhaps, to start your own business. Our GMA Workplace contributor, Tory is here with 5 things you need to know to kickstart, well, your very own economy, if nothing else, Tory. And so the idea of starting your own business, it sounds scary, especially if you've spent these months now looking for a job.
That's right. And so the reality is it can be very daunting. It can be frustrating, but it can also be incredibly freeing to take control instead of waiting for the government to come up with a miraculous solution, which we've seen hasn't yet happened. And so you don't want to do this simply because you have run out of options. You want to do this only when you believe that, yes, the idea of doing my own thing, going after it with gusto, that appeals to me.
And let's face it, if you know really what you're doing. So you've got 5 tips here to get yourself started. So really, it does seem to reason, what kind of business do I start, number one?
That's the first thing. You've got to choose your business type. And the reality is you don't have to reinvent the wheel, which can be very good news. I've started 2 businesses about helping people get jobs, helping people start businesses. There are 2 categories where there's no shortage of competition. And so that's okay. Competition can be a good thing. It means that there's interest in what you have to offer. So whether it's cupcakes, haircuts, plumbings, graphic design, jewelry, it doesn't matter as long as you do what you do really, really well. And a service business based on your own expertise is going to be easier to start than a product business where you're creating a tangible good. I'm
going to guess that a lot of people think, I have a great idea for a business, and then somebody asks about a business plan, and those great ideas wash up.
Yeah, you get really scared. So I favor a 1-page business plan. Instead of spending hours and weeks and months crafting this 40-page document about predicting what's going to happen 5 years from now when you haven't even made 1 sale yet, focus on the 1-page, keep it fluid on abcnews.com/GMA. We have a template to help you get started.
And then how much do I need to get started?
Yeah, so you got to keep your starting costs low. That's critical. A lot of people think that they need a ton of money. I'm in favor of funding your growth through sales. Get some initial sales, bring in some cash, use that money to help fund your business. And you got to be creative. You know, maybe you dream of having that big commercial kitchen, but instead you're going to have to start baking those brownies in a free church, kitchen, or a commercial kitchen that's for the community to use. Maybe you're not going to have your own stuff at first. Be creative. Again, more ideas on that on .com too.
Okay, so I'm sitting here knitting my quilts, but then who am I selling them
to? I would love to see you knit
my
those
customer?
I bet a lot of people would buy your quilts. Actually, you got to know who your customer is, and it's important to pinpoint that customer. So, for example, the person who makes some kind of skin cream doesn't say, well, anybody with skin could be my client. Instead, you've got to look at what's your pricing, your packaging, your ingredients. Is this a skin cream that's going to go on the shelves of dermatologist offices, or is this going to be something that people sort of just like pick in a drive-by at a big box retailer? You want to know as much as you can about your customers.
All right, so how much am I charging for my quilt?
Obviously, you want to price for profit and price to sell. 2 things that are really important. A lot of times, especially with a quilt maker, you tend to undervalue your time and talent. You think about, what did this yarn cost me, and I'll double that. But you really want to value your time and talent. I've got a really great formula also on .com to help you to figure out exactly how much money do I want to make in a year? How do I break that down by the month? How much am I going to have to charge to make this a profitable business? And then it comes down to the final thing, which is selling. The thing that people like to do the least. No sales, no business. And this is the one thing that you can't outsource. You have to be able to do it yourself, and it doesn't have to be daunting. You can get active in social media. You can make a list of 50 prospects that you want to sell to. Start picking up the phone tomorrow.
All right.
You can start tomorrow.
All right. And I've decided $1 million a quilt. That seems fair to me.
You think that's fair?
I do. Tory Johnson.
Maybe we'll get Lara to buy it from us. The diamond encrusted quilt.
I only need to sell 1 a year, I figure. We want to hear from you, however. Would you start your own business in this economy? Vote now using the GMA app on your smartphone or head to our website.